Well, by now, the entire universe has heard about the celebrity nude photo hacking scandal, where some individual, or maybe a team of individuals, broke into the online cloud service for Apple and stole the nude photos and videos of over what is said to be over 100 celebrities, and then has proceeded to publish some of these online. I don't believe that the full content which was taken has been published, but at least some of the biggest name celebrities, Jennifer Lawrence most notably, given the very explicit nature of the photo and videos, has been published. And this has been decried as a tremendous crime against these people, these celebrities who have suffered. But I do think, given the tremendous amount of attention that this situation has gotten, it's worth looking into in more detail. It is very obvious that everyone knows if you put something on the internet, that thing remains there forever. You have absolutely no expectation that once something is on the internet, it will one day disappear. Anything you say online under any kind of account or pseudonym exists forever and can be called up at any time. I mean, not just like regular online archives, but basically anything the government is spying on you for. So you do understand that anything that ever goes online will be recorded and will be saved pretty much permanently. However, these celebrities do have an expectation of privacy and should receive that privacy. Of course, we could look at this in the context of capitalism and understand that these people did pay for a service that was supposed to give them that kind of privacy. But I think it's more important to point out the fact that as human beings, they do deserve some kind of privacy. After all, these pictures and videos were not published publicly with the intention of public consumption. Yes, once being placed on the internet, they now exist forever and are put at the risk of being stolen. But there was no intention for anyone to ever have these publicly. And for just basic human decency, these people are entitled to a degree of privacy, even online. After all, how can we make such arguments about online privacy and then complain about the government spying on us, and then turn around and attack these people for daring to take naked pictures of themselves? This is, of course, a crime. This can be perceived, and very likely in a court of law, would be perceived as a theft of personal property. And it's not just simply a theft of personal property. It's a violation of privacy. And this is an exploitation of women. I mean, it's not a coincidence that the vast majority of the victims, although I hear there are some male victims, I haven't seen any pictures yet that show, or any information that shows that there have been men who've been violated by this, but I hear there is. But thus far, we see the victims of this hacking scandal are overwhelmingly female celebrities. So we can't simply deny this reality. This attack, regardless of who it was that carried it out, was certainly done with the specific intention of exposing naked celebrity women. It was specifically women's bodies who were fetishized in this society. Thus, can we really be surprised that it becomes the target of this attack? We shouldn't. This should actually be very obvious. This very much was a crime, given that it's the theft of private property, was carried out against women, and women were deliberately targeted as a result of this. Now, some people are calling this a sex crime. I would actually not agree with this assessment, because this is an issue of theft and a violation of privacy. There is, of course, a very sexual connotation to this. This is very specifically targeted towards women. But from a legal standpoint, it's really only theft and a violation of privacy. This is not a sex crime per se, but it was very sexually motivated. Can we say that this is a deliberate attack on women? Yes, we can. But the term sex crime has a particular connotation. It has a particular legal standing, which I don't think fits what happened here. So yes, this was a crime. And of course, it did have a sexual nature to it, one that very specifically targeted women over men. But in the general sense of what is a sex crime, it's just not applicable here. This is most certainly a crime which has a sexual nature to it, particularly the fact that it was a violation of people's privacy concerning their own sex lives. And this violation of their privacy shows what disdain that this person or organization responsible for it had for that right to privacy. Now, with any moment when women are the target of something, there is always a good contingent of society which attacks the victims. They say that they're celebrities. They're supposed to be in the news. This is what they do. While this is also true, this misses the point of the crime that was committed. Celebrities exist in a particular way, meaning that their income, what it is that they do to survive is based off of attention. There must always be pictures of them. There must always be videos of them. And not just must these exist, but that people must always want to see them, which is why we have the whole celebrity media culture and why we have, People magazine and all these other celebrity rags, which are frankly a disgrace to journalism. So it is true that these celebrities need the desire for their pictures and videos to exist. But this is a very different context, given that they are ones that were stolen from what was supposed to be an expectation of privacy. They were stolen. But what's interesting to note here is the very clear contradiction in this. Celebrities need people to want to see pictures of them. Thus, it drives this desire to get these private pictures. That's why paparazzi are such a problem and why they continually violate people's privacy. The contradiction here is that while these celebrities need that attention, they need pictures and videos of them to exist and people to want these pictures and videos to exist, it ends up in the end contradicting their right to privacy and ends up contradicting in reality the privacy that they expect. It's just the way this works, the way celebrity culture is, and the way that it affects people's perception of them. It's true. This contradiction is causing a problem. They want their privacy, yet their whole celebrity status and their income from being a celebrity, an actor, what have you, is based on them being known and seen all the time by people, which is the antithesis to privacy. When we return to this phenomenon of victim blaming, we see something very specific. The people who are defending this happening, or at least attacking the people who are the victims of this, are tremendously hypocritical. But isn't the kind of crowd that is happy that this happened or attack the people who this happened to, saying, well, you're a celebrity, get used to it, or you were looking for attention anyway, are among the same people who would complain about the NSA spying on them. And in fact, there's a good contingent of those people who put out tremendous effort in trying to raise awareness or even trying to take harmful actions against the NSA and the US government for the spying that's been carried out against them. And that spying is not justified in any way, shape, or form. I'm not saying that. What I am saying, it just seems rather hypocritical that for a crowd that is so against being spied on and having their privacy violated, it seems so happy to celebrate that violation happening to somebody else, merely because they're frankly a female celebrity. And I do believe that that's exactly what this comes down to. Because, let's face it, if these were male celebrities who had their nude photos leaked, or primarily male celebrities who had their photos leaked, it wouldn't have been such a sensationalist deal. This wouldn't be the massive explosion of attention that we've seen about this. So we cannot deny that there is a very clear bias here. When it's men looking for privacy, they have a right and are willing to fight for it. Yet when this right to privacy is violated by female celebrities, all of a sudden they don't seem really willing to stand up for that same kind of online privacy that they expect for themselves. We must also consider the reality of what it is that drives people to get these celebrities' pictures. It's not just, patriarchy. It's not just that. It's not as simple as that, although it is a huge component to it. Now keep in mind, we have a celebrity-based culture. Now, capitalism thrives off this. It thrives off whatever sells, and usually that is the lowest common denominator. And frankly, a lot of what is celebrity culture is a lowest common denominator. It's easily sold, and easily sold things tend to be very profitable. That is why we have so many celebrity magazines, but yet so few scientific journals going out to that same public or being published at the same rate. There is a very clear reason why we have celebrity rags, why we have porno magazines, while there's a tremendous need for textbooks. Not just here, but in the third world as well. Because, of course, the market has made that decision. The market goes where the money is, regardless of the rationality or irrationality of that. We have a society that is based on trying to get things to make us feel good or to give us distractions rather than deal with reality itself, rather than become self-actualized and improve ourselves. It gives us a tremendous amount of distractions, and celebrities' lives are a very profitable way of providing that distraction. So this is not just merely a case of patriarchy attacking celebrity women. This is a case of capitalism having a drive to make us obsessed with these people's lives to the point where we would want to hack them, to where we would want this violation of privacy to take place. Because even aside from all of that, paparazzi work can pay very well if you're good at it. But there's also one final thing I'd like to point out. This idea of taking private pictures and posting them online, particularly of a sexualized nature, for what are called revenge porn sites, with the specific intent of causing harm to the person whose pictures are posted there, which is why it's called revenge porn, is not new. This phenomenon has been around for several years now. In fact, there's a big case right now where a Texas company was sued over this because they did facilitate the act of causing emotional distress, to attempt to harm a person by having these pictures posted there without their permission. And that, I believe that case is still going before the courts right now. My point here is that this is not new. This happens all the time, constantly. And I'm sure being online long enough, you've heard the stories about your teenage girls who've been blackmailed with this and had their privacy violated that way. And this is happening to younger and younger girls. And there's a reason why it primarily happens to women. But this phenomenon has been going on for some time, and it has been getting a lot worse, particularly in the last 2 years. But the media really hasn't been paying attention to this. But this phenomenon, this violation of not just women, but in many cases now children as well, has gone completely, frankly, almost unnoticed. But once it happens to celebrities, once it happens to people that are, quote-unquote, important, people who are higher up in the economic strata, a higher class, all of a sudden this is huge, massive news. We have something that's 100 times worse occurring every day against regular women who are being violated in this way. And yet the entire system just doesn't care. The media, even media owned by other women, don't care. Because bringing attention to this isn't going to sell. It's not going to sell the same way celebrity culture does, or the same kind of thing that brings in the cash, because those people are not famous. They're regular, everyday people. So even there, the crime is actually much worse, because it happens to many, many more people, including children. And that's one point that I think basically all of media is missing. This is a big symbol of patriarchy in our society, but it is also a huge symbol of the classism that exists in the society. Even this kind of exploitation against women and even children occurs in the third world as well, mainly by Western white men. But all of this is being ignored, and it doesn't become a global issue with this kind of attention until it's done to the rich celebrities. Thank you for watching. Please comment and rate the video. If you liked it, hit subscribe or check out some of these other great videos. If you wish, share it on social media. And while you're at it, why don't you follow me on Twitter? And if you got time, go on over to the MRN bookstore and check out some of the latest books available.